A lot of excited people in central Iowa because Des Moines Performing Arts have announced their new season and what is forthcoming. And Eric Olmshad joining us in studio with us right now. And boy, you're talking about a buzz in this town.
Well, good morning. Yeah, last night we announced 32 shows as part
32.
of 32. Yes, as part of the 2016-2017 series at Des Moines Performing Arts.
Oh.
So of course that's anchored with the Willis Broadway series, but we announced our dance series, our family series, and programming over at the Temple Theater, the Live at the Temple concert series, and the Temple comedy series.
Well, this is a lot to talk about, so let's dive right in.
Yeah, so first up, we'll talk a little bit about the family series.
Okay.
So the Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield family series is our signature series for families, and that's really headlined by a great show with A Year with Frog and Toad, which was back on Broadway in 2003.
I was going to say, this one sounds very familiar.
It is a familiar title. It's the Caldecott winning family series books by Arnold Lobel. They're based on that. So anybody who has children of that age probably remember reading A Year with Frog and Toad or Frog and Toad Are Friends. But we have also other great literature adaptations with Mother Goose, as well as Brown Bear, What Do You See? And a great group coming out of Chicago for Hypnotic Brass Ensemble. What's great about the family series is all of our pricing is set to be kind of like on par with a movie ticket. So it's only $8 a show, so you can bring your whole entire family, for a kind of $35 day to bring entire family of 4 to the theater.
That's a good idea.
And a season pass right now is, you just can't beat it.
Yeah, you can get all 4 of those shows for $35 as a season ticket.
From my own personal knowledge, when you put these shows on and children come, you know that they make noise.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, we encourage noise.
Okay.
You should come to the lobbies beforehand. We have these discovery parties where it's filled with families doing art-making activities and other activities.
Cool.
So hopefully they can get out a little bit of the energy before going into the theater and having that experience.
As I say, you're a big part of putting this all together with a family series, and you put some amazing projects and, like you said, things for the kids to do so they really feel a part of the production.
Yeah, and that's an important piece of it. So there's
Wonderful.
lots of family programming.
Okay.
As part of our dance series, we have 3 internationally renowned dance companies. I really think of the anchor of this as being Beauty and the Beast, coming to us from Ballet Biarritz in France. They're coming from the southern coast of France. This is a brand new interpretation of the classic story of La Belle et la Bête. And then also 2 other great companies, Ballet Jazz of Montreal and Kyle Abraham. Tickets on sale for the family and dance series right now, and the dance programming starts at only $50 for all 3 shows.
Nice. All right.
Great.
Well, before we get to the big stuff, let's talk a little bit about Temple Theater, because Jason is drooling over the fact that one-man Star Wars trilogy is coming.
Yeah, it's part of the Temple comedy series.
Yeah.
And literally, Charles Ross is the actor's name, and he does a 60-minute show of all 3 of the original Star Wars films, and it is a tour de force. So he plays all of the characters, does all of the music, he does all of the fight scenes by himself on stage. It's an amazing journey.
Wow. Jason, you end up seeing this. That might be your side gig.
Yeah, I could do that.
You just kick him aside and say, hey, I want to step on in here.
I want to do this. And people are really excited to hear Triple Espresso
Triple
coming back as
Espresso
well.
is coming back for
That
the
is
6th
great.
time in Des Moines, and it's a classic. We have it over the holidays for 8 weeks, and every time that we play it, new audiences come, but also tons of audiences who've already seen it and bring it back. And
Why do people love Triple Espresso around here so much? What do you think?
Well, it's really just a great family show in the sense that it's clean, it's appropriate for all ages. If you want to bring your grandchildren or your grandparents, it's an appropriate comedy show. There's very few shows that kind of live in that comedy place that are really appropriate for everybody, and Triple Espresso does that, and it's just kind of fun, clean humor, and a little magic on the side. So
And great people that perform.
I was going to say,
here.
guys that came here and end up staying
Living here.
because they
being
loved it so
local
much.
celebrities,
Right.
with John Bush and Patrick Albanese, and of course it's going to star those 2 guys again.
All right, enough of this small
All right,
stuff.
enough of
Let's
this
move
small.
on to Broadway.
So the Broadway series actually has 12 different titles as part of the Willis Broadway series this coming year, and it's headlined by. We always caution to say it's headlined by anything because all of the shows are amazing for their own regard. But these 11 shows actually represent 33 Tony Awards, which is really significant. And what we're most excited about is that it's the current Tony Award winner for Best Musical and Best Play, both on our season. So Fun Home and A Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Not to mention the beautiful Carole King story entitled Beautiful.
Tell us a bit about the first 2 you mentioned. I'm not Jackie, so I don't follow things as closely. No, that's
You
fine.
wish
but
you were.
But, for folks who may not know.
Fun Home is
That's
based
the
on
one I'm looking forward to most.
Yeah,
so excited.
It is such a beautiful story. It's based on a graphic novel that it tells the story of a young girl named Allison, kind of in 3 different stages of her life as she's kind of coming to grips with really important important mysteries of her childhood kind of coming out. So it's really a story about her journey and that process that she has with her father. And Fun Home, which is short for funeral home, is actually
really?
set in a funeral home because their family's business is a funeral home.
Now they did it in the round on Broadway, so I'm interested to see how
Yeah.
it happens on
The first production was done in a proscenium, so meaning it's in a theater where you kind of see it from one perspective and the flat perspective, like the Civic Center,
right.
versus in the round where the audience was sitting on three sides.
Okay.
So it'll go back to a proscenium show, but they're working through all those creative elements right now.
Folks, if you wanted to see this in the height of when it was on Broadway, it cost a minimum of $300 a ticket to see it.
Seriously?
Take advantage of Broadway being in town with this incredible production that's going to be right here at the Civic Center.
And the show is just phenomenal.
Can't wait for this one. It's my top.
The other one that's Best Play, the current title holder for Best Play on Broadway, is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime.
Okay, so when I was guessing, I said this one and I said there was no way it could come because the set would be too much to handle, but no, you're making it happen.
It will make it happen. Well, we aren't necessarily, but the National Theatre of Great Britain, it's their production.
Okay.
And the last show that we had here of theirs was War Horse. So
Yes.
a handful of years
yeah.
ago.
That was very intense.
Right.
And so the National Theatre and their U.S. partners really know what they're doing. And this is a story of about a 15-year-old boy who has an extraordinary brain.
You have to see
who
this,
is
Jason. It's unbelievable.
Incredibly intelligent, but is kind of ill-equipped for everyday life. So it's looking at his struggles and where he is in that personal daily journey. And it's really his mission to find out what happened the night that this curious incident happened where a dog died. So he takes it upon himself to investigate and find this out.
Saw it on Broadway. Absolutely unbelievable.
And the set is beautiful, as you were saying.
It's like anything I've ever seen before in my life.
Why so? Why do you say that?
Because of Broadway and theater shows, they're going more technology based, and they totally encompass you in that, using the whole stage in a technology. Using technology, I can't speak. But basically what's happening is they're taking you inside this child's brain, so maybe you can understand how autism and different dysfunctions work by
So they
taking
draw you in
the brain as
Okay.
opposed to just showing you a character. And it's unbelievable what they're able to do.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gripping storytelling. It's unbelievable, and it's the first time in several years that we actually have a play in town. So it's not a musical,
Right.
but
You're gonna love
it's
it.
a gripping piece of theater.
Okay, what else? What else?
So we also have lots of things. An American in Paris, which will also be part of the 5-show Willis Broadway series, and a classic returning is The Sound of Music. So The Sound of Music is the Rodgers and Hammerstein classic and favorite, and this is a brand new interpretation and production of it. It's going out on the road this current season, and we'll have it next year. And it's just a stunning reinterpretation by Jack O'Brien, who's directing this show.
A reinterpretation.
Yeah, so it's
the
been a
Hills
long.
not alive anymore,
the
or
Hills
what?
are still. They never were not alive.
Okay.
But he was able to look at it from a fresh perspective and say, in 2016, how should The Sound of Music look in the sense of like what elements of technology, and it looks iconic because it's set in such a specific time and era, but it's a new interpretation.
Freshen it up.
Yeah.
Got it.
And it's
Ooh, there's
really great.
kissing.
Yes, Jason. I would just like to say, out of everything on the first fold of the pamphlet, I guessed 4 out of the 5 shows, so I didn't do too bad.
That's a really nice one.
And then Beautiful, as well as you said, the musical of Carole King.
Yeah, so it really tells
absolutely
her
amazing.
story. Most people know Carole King as this amazing performer, right? But her career started long before as a singer-songwriter, where her music was being performed by many other artists.
Right.
So we can kind of get that backstory of looking at what her career was like before she became center stage herself. I knew every single song in that show, but I had no idea that Carole King wrote all of them.
Really? One of
No
those type of
idea.
things where you went, really?
Yeah,
Really?
she wrote that because they were not necessarily performed by Carole King, but they were all
They were
written,
hits nonetheless.
hits nonetheless, and they were written by her.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
It's
All
a
right.
fantastic show.
Yeah, and then in addition to that, we have 3 great concerts coming up as part of the Broadway series. We have Kristen Chenoweth in concert,
Yay!
which is, of course, the Tony Award winner, and she created the role of Glinda in Wicked. She'll be with the Des Moines Symphony. We have Jason Robert Brown.
What? He's coming
and
back?
Stephanie J. Block coming for special Broadway concerts. So it's not on your pamphlet because we just confirmed them after the pamphlet went to print. But Jason Robert Brown and Stephanie J. Block, both Broadway darlings, are coming to do concerts in the Temple Theater. So Jason will be at the piano with a guest artist, and Stephanie J. Block, for her career, will perform highlights of their career in this new kind of series that we're trying to do with Broadway cabaret concerts in the Temple Theater.
Nice.
So you can get really close to some amazing Broadway artists there. And then Mamma Mia and Rent and Rain are all returning as great additions to the Broadway series.
There it is. Can you handle it?
I'm wore out already.
That's pretty big. This seems like one of the bigger ones in recent years.
It is a big season. Yeah, it's wonderful though. There's so much great stuff happening and so much great work, and we're at the mercy of what's being produced on Broadway. And we're very fortunate that last year it was a really successful year artistically for shows that we feel really passionately about bringing to Des Moines.
But that's the amazing part of what you guys do. If it's hot on Broadway, you're going to see it right here in Des Moines. You don't have to go to New York. You can just stay right here.
And for a fraction of the price of going to New York.
Right.
There it is.
All right. So I imagine since the announcement was made, tickets are available and ready to go.
Tickets are on sale, DesMoinesPerformingArts.org, and season ticket packages are as low as $150 for the Broadway series.
Nice.
There it is.
Yay.
Jam-packed, no question about it. Eric, thank you,
Wonderful.
man.
Thank
Good
you
to
so
see
very
Eric.
much.
Thank
Have
you
a
very
great-
much.
have a great day.